Welcome to Level Up Tribes. Level Up Tribes provides resources to help you attain the necessary resources to level up your mind, body, and soul and realize your full potential. It is about exploring, learning, providing you with the tools from the experts for you to create a better version of yourself. I am your host, Agnes Goodwine, and welcome, Tribes. Thank you, Kelly, for being here at Level Up Tribes podcast. I'm super excited to have you. I scheduled your interview like a little bit over a month ago, and when I received your Oracle cards, I just couldn't wait to meet you and tell you my experience with them. So I'm super excited to get to know you better today and learn how these cards came about and your life story. But before that, I do want to give you a proper introduction. So Kelly T. Smith is a mind, body, and wellness practitioner with a certification in life coaching and hypnotherapy. She has been trained in a variety of holistic healing modalities such as NLP, which I think is neuro-linguistic programming. Is that what that is, Kelly?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Holistic nutrition, past life regression therapy, essential oils, psychology of intuition, energy healing, and so many others. Her mission in life is to help you realize your fullest potential, find your hidden gifts, and to break free from your limiting beliefs that keep you from your true self. So welcome to the show. Let's get started. Let's dive in and talk about what made you go into this path of life coaching.
So it has been like this journey of complete surrender. So it started in my booklet of the Oracle cards. I wrote about the dark night of the soul. And that's really what happened to me, is just getting to a place of emptiness where nothing worked anymore. Everything I tried just kept falling apart. And I kept trying to work a job because I needed to make a certain amount of money. And I kept trying to stay in friendships that I've outgrown. I kept trying to, I guess, be normal. I don't know, and do what everybody thought I should be doing. And yet there was this part of me, this intuition, especially through my dreams that I'd had since I was a teenager, that was starting to unfold more and more and more. And it was causing me like a spiritual awakening. And spiritual awakenings are not always light and fluffy. Sometimes they come with it's kind of like this part of you that you thought you were starts to just fall away. And then you have to almost reinvent yourself or get to know the real you kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. So let's talk about your oracles, these beautiful, intuitive life coaching oracle cards that you created. How did these cards come about to you?
So at first it started with this feeling of getting constant messages. Well, so I had a dream that I was going to create something that was a bridge for people who are having a spiritual awakening, kind of like a practical, helping the seeker person really be able to align with their inner self, their true self. And so through that, I just kept having dreams. And then I started to just channel write. So I would write messages. I'd get daily messages, and then I'd write them on Facebook. And then people said they were really helping them. And then it just started to unfold. It's like when you say yes to something, then more guidance comes in. It's kind of like you just take baby steps, and then the next door opens and the next door opens. So I kept having dreams and synchronistic events. And then I saw the logo of the person who created my app, because he started as an app. And it was Indigo's Oracle cards. And then I emailed him and everything just took off. It was like fate.
Yes. Oh, God, I love that. Well, when I got the cards in the mail, I didn't open them right away. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to play around with it. And anything that I get, whether it's crystals or anything that's going to help my spiritual journey, I have a habit of just placing it on my heart.
Yes. That's
and
great.
Yeah. And then, just say, whatever messages that are supposed to come through for me through my spirit guides, just let them come through. And so I played around with your guidebook, and I believe the first card reading is called it's general. It's a 3-card reading. But it's like divine guidance. And so my 3 cards were so on point. I was like, I was like, is there somebody in this room? I'm like, spirit guides, are you here with me? Because they were, oh my God, it gave me chills. And I even ran upstairs to my husband and I was so excited. He was like, what's going on? I said, I need to do a reading for you. I need to do a reading for you. And then so we did a reading for him that night and it was the same thing. So,
that's so awesome.
I know.
Yes. So that's another thing is that I was guided. So I think of these as like spiritual lessons. And after I went to school to do life coaching, I was getting the guidance that I had to find a way to bridge the gap between intuition and life coaching and even hypnotherapy. And when it was time for me to write these, I was guided to write them in first person. So it was like I had to relive some of these lessons over and over again that year. And then after something would happen, I would like meditate and then I'd ask for the guidance to come in because Spirit says that I was going to write this in first person so that who is ever reading it, it would feel like I'm Spirit's directly talking to you. And that was the goal. And so many people tell me that that's what happens when they read it. And so, yeah, I don't get to take credit for that because that was all source, working through me for that.
Yes. Do you want to play? I know you mentioned something about playing a little bit. Do you want to do that and just give our listeners a treat?
That would be awesome. Yes. So I can draw should we do, what do you think we should ask?
I don't know.
So whatever the listeners need to hear today.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because I feel like, because you have such a spiritual, beautiful, open-hearted vibe, I'm sure you attract so many empathic, loving, kind people too. And one of the things that's been coming up for me, and this is already coming through, is just like, how do we protect our energy field? Especially through all the harsh energy and that feeling like we're getting more and more in tune, even more sensitive, more intuitive, more aware, like other people's energies affect us more. And how do we stay aligned or not get so overwhelmed by that?
Oh my God, that's perfect.
Okay, so I'm just going to draw a couple cards and see. Ooh, I love it. I love it when we set our intention and then the exact cards pop out. It's just so awesome. So, everyone listening right now, and these are some of the cards that we're getting. The first card is Earth Shifts. So this is saying that we are very in tune with Mother Earth, that we are very in tune with everything that's going on in the world right now. And this is for sensitive, empathic people who are so sensitive because they're open-hearted, because they're connected, because they're loving, because they're compassionate, because they care so much. And I think that when you're that sensitive, you have to remember to always take care of your energy. Find the tools that work for you. Nature is a huge healer. Just being outside, being around trees, being around water, that is really helpful for me because we tend to just take things on without knowing that we're taking things on. So that's the first thing is take care of your energy, drink lots of water. I drink a ton of lemon water because for me, if I don't, I feel like I'm not clearing the energy that's coming in. And then the second card, for everyone that's listening, it looks like we have a lot of changes coming up. So this card is positive life changes, and we also have parting ways and the soul group card. So when I look at these all together, because we also got the old soul card too. So Spirit is saying messages about parting ways, friendships, letting go of things that we have probably outgrown, which is really, really challenging, especially for sensitive people, because we probably don't like conflict or we don't want to be at odds with anyone, or we're always trying to fix everything. And Spirit is saying that right now, it's not about fixing anything. It's about being present with what you need. It's about coming back in and knowing that you just went through something major. You just had a huge shift. Your intuition is probably opening up, your ability to know who you are on a deeper level and what you want and what is most important to you. And because of that, new doors are going to be opening. The positive life changes talks about moving. It talks about, going taking a journey, going back to school, starting something new. Sometimes this could even represent a new birth or a marriage, or it's like the beginning of a new cycle for everyone, and lots of changes coming. Because we got the soul group card, it's like, again, the parting ways, there's this letting go of the old version of ourselves, like this letting go of who we used to be, because we just came out of the cocoon, like the caterpillar coming out of the cocoon, so to speak. So now this next journey is have an open mind and an open heart to this soul family energy. If it feels like people are falling away, know that you are headed in a new journey, and you're going to meet new people, and it's going to be more kindred, like-minded people coming during this time. So it's the soul group energy. And then the last card is the old soul. And this card is reminding people who are are so wise beyond their years that they don't even know that they're wise, right? And that you're probably being called to share your wisdom. You're probably being called to do something. Because again, I'm talking to a group of very loving, compassionate, sensitive people. And what happens is that you have a message. You're always wanting to help. You're always wanting to, find a way to make a difference. So this card is reminding you that you have something special to share with your wisdom, and that it's time to do that. So,
oh, I love it, Kelly. That's beautiful. That was a beautiful reading, and right on point too.
Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. There are really intuitive cards. Yes. I love them.
Thank you. They're also really helpful with like releasing emotional blocks or stuck energy. I find that when I'm not moving forward, or I feel like I'm just repeating the same like broken record patterns over and over again, like I'll draw a card and I can see what's happening at a subconscious level. Like I'll be able to see where my resistance is, or where I'm not letting go, or where I'm not trusting, or if I'm really like looping into fear, or I'll be able to see, yes, that idea that I had was divine guidance and I should trust it. Because what happens a lot of times is that we second guess our guidance. Even though and spirit will just keep hitting us with the same one. Like I always laugh with my friends and my clients when we get a card that we don't want. We're like, oh no, and then we'll draw another card, and it's the same card.
True.
Funny.
Well, as a life coach, why do you think people do second guess themselves? Where does that come from?
Yeah. So I feel like everything really happens at a subconscious level. I really feel like this, from a spiritual perspective, that this journey is just unlearning everything that we were taught about ourselves, and learning to find the real us. So there's so many other voices happening. We're listening to other people tell us who we are and whether or not we're good enough. And, we've learned to almost listen to everything outside of ourselves instead of listening to ourselves, because we most likely weren't taught to trust our own guidance or trust our own opinion. And so it really just takes coming back into the present moment, asking for guidance on a daily basis. And I always say it's through prayer that we do that, because prayer directs energy. And so whatever anyone believes, however anyone believes about a higher power or God or whatever your religion is, I feel like it all leads to the same path. It all brings us back home. And so it's about really using prayer to direct energy, and then going back into your heart, being silent and listening. And when we second guess ourselves, especially second guessing our intuition, we need to learn to just kind of maybe have a journal. Have you ever heard of like a dream journal?
Yes.
You could do the same for intuition. You can, if you get an intuitive hit or you get guidance to do something, just write it down so that you'll start to see that you get it way more than you think you do. And as you start to see, almost our human mind needs proof. And then once we see, yes, this is real, I'm understanding how I'm getting guidance. I'm understanding that was a real feeling. And once we get that, when we start to see proof, is when we learn to trust it.
That is true. That makes sense. How was it for you in 2020 with your clients? Was there something that was repetitive that you saw over and over again was there something that surfaced?
Yes. So for a lot of people, myself included, it's like we all had plans at the beginning of the year and we all thought that our life was going to go a certain way, and then everything just stopped. And to me, isolation is one of the most powerful ways to evolve on a spiritual level. Because when we only have ourselves, like when we can only face ourselves, where now we don't have as much outside distraction, outside stimuli, and we even have to turn off the news because things are getting scary, especially if you're empathic and sensitive. And it was all just too much. I think it was over sensory for a lot of my clients and for myself included. Yeah, because you care so much and you're tuning in without even knowing you're tuning in, and you don't understand. Like for me personally and a few people I work with, we're just looking at the world going, we don't understand the harsh energy. Like harsh energy is maybe foreign to how we see or perceive the world. It came to a point where it was like, even though the isolation was hard, it became kind of a saving grace because you got to do the inner work. You got to reevaluate, you reevaluate your relationship with spirit, your relationship with yourself, what you wanted to happen moving forward, what you wanted to change, because it feels like, I don't know about you, but it feels this way for me. It feels like I just went through 5 years of growth in 1 year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Yes, that's exactly how it felt. And it still feels that way a little bit. I feel like there's still a residue, but yes. Oh my God, we need to quote that. Yes.
So I just feel like, the isolation was huge. I saw a lot of people struggle with depression. A lot of people struggle with anxiety. And then the fear. And when we go into that energy, the only thing we can do is cultivate that relationship with our inner self. And we have to learn to lean on the safety net within us. Like spirit is like always there whispering, everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to work out. Everything is changing. That was the key message, is that everything is changing. And even though it doesn't look like it's headed in the right direction, it is. It will get better. And we just have to hang in there. So yeah, it was intense.
Very intense. Yeah, it was intense. But like you said, a lot of beautiful things for me anyway came out of it because of that reason. It was like a 5 year. Yeah, it was interesting. But you have so much to give. I was browsing through your website and you have a lot of different coaching sessions and I don't know if you want to talk about those.
Yeah. So my main session that I do with people is called an intuitive life coaching session. They could either get a 60-minute or a 90-minute. And what I do is I work with their higher self. I invite their higher self to come in and I tune in, but what I always tell people is I never tell people what to do, but I guide them back within themselves to help amplify their own guidance and to help, give them confirmation of the guidance that they're already getting. We do a lot of energy healing so that we clear out emotional blocks. I always say that my goal is for people to walk away feeling lighter, feeling more connected, having more clarity, being more in tune with their own energy. Because what tends to happen is that we're living in our head space. And when we're living in our head spaces, all the mental energies, we're going over worst case scenarios. And so to really kind of minimize that energy and bring us back into our heart, clear away some of that emotional blocks, clear away some of that fear, and then really access clarity and guidance. And I like to work with people a lot. That's my mentor session, is to teach them how to access their intuition and how to understand the messages that they're getting. So that's one of my favorite sessions to do too, is just kind of help people understand how to access their intuition, because everyone is intuitive.
Yes, exactly. We just don't know how to, like you said, tap into it and work it like a muscle. And so, as a life coach, how do you guide your clients to unlock and find their authentic self?
So that is when we do work on our limited beliefs. We do work on, understanding what our authentic self is. Who are we really? Not the roles that we play for other people, but who we really are. Not, understanding the difference between how are we showing up in our life 100% authentic to our soul? Are we showing up because we feel guided to do this? Or are we showing up because we're people pleasing? Or are we showing up because we think we should do that? Or are we showing up in a way where we are wanting people to approve of us? So when we kind of silence all that, worrying about what other people think, the approving, the limited beliefs about what our potential is or isn't, then we can access, that our true inner self. And I believe our true inner self is infinite potential and infinite love. But there's this part of us that has bought into this idea of our limitations, has told us, oh, we're not good enough, we're not worthy enough, we're not smart enough, we're not all of those things. So we have to get to a place where we can really silence that and release those limited beliefs. We can do it through hypnotherapy, through energy work, through even some life coaching exercises, those kind of things, to help the person feel back into their own energy and then really live their life from a space of their core values, what's most important to them. And I also work a lot with helping people manifest, like creating the life of their dreams. Is huge for me because it's really about where you're pointing your energy, where you're putting all of your energy. That is what you're going to get back. I really love to use hypnotherapy. I've created so many different hypnosis to help people. But also when I'm working one-on-one, we will align with the vision. And when I'm working intuitively, I could see if there's resistance. Like if somebody says, I really want to do this career, I want to start my own business, and I'm working on manifesting it, Kelly, but nothing's happening. So when we work together and we tune in, I can see, okay, because there's resistance to believing that you're worthy. So, we'll work on just kind of releasing some of those limited beliefs that are keeping you from aligning. Once you align and really hold, so it's about visualizing. I like to tell people that right before you go to sleep, hold the vision and over, feel the feelings of it already being done. Usually you will have an amazing dream if you do that every single night. Like if you go to sleep, I do that a lot when I need guidance, and I'll wake up with brilliant ideas or guidance from spirit.
I like it.
Yeah, dreams are a really great way to help release blocks to what you're trying to manifest. But it's visualization. Vision boards are amazing. It's hypnotherapy. So I think it depends on the person and what they're struggling with, as far as if it's hard for them to hold the energy of believing in what they're wanting. Does that make sense?
Yes. So let me ask you, like, if you want to manifest something, is it wise to keep asking? Or is it something that you ask once and let the universe, or are we supposed to just put it out there and let it work as magic? Like, what do you think about that? Because I've heard like two different things.
So I love that you asked that question. And from my personal experience, the moment you believe that it's on its way is the moment you stop asking. And it doesn't come until you believe it, right? It doesn't come until you've already accepted it. It's like the moment. So whatever you have to do to get yourself into the state of fully aligning, believing, having unwavering faith, and then radiating the feelings of it being here now. And sometimes in the beginning, when you ask, it might be hard for you to get into that place of complete and total unwavering faith that the moment you ask, it's done. I believe that there's infinite possibilities happening simultaneously. So I believe that if something is for my highest good and I'm asking the universe, because I'm always manifesting from my soul. And I think that's two different things, like manifesting something materialistic or manifesting like your life purpose or manifesting, I think it depends on what you're manifesting. But back to your question is that as soon as you believe that it's on its way is when you stop asking, you stop looking for it. And the moment you stop asking, you stop looking for it, is the moment it shows up. It is amazing.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Because I've heard, no, just ask once and leave it alone. Or, because then you'll confuse, the energy will get confused. But it makes sense that if you're not really sure in your heart space, then you are sending some mixed signals. So as long as you know for sure and get that feeling, then leave it alone.
Yes. And I always say that visualization, rather than asking, I would visualize, right before you go to sleep when you're in a calm state, because that reprograms your mind at a subconscious level. So holding the pictures in your mind and just seeing it over and over again and feeling it over and over and over and over again, feeling it as it's done, because as you rehearse it in your mind like it's real, that is you manifesting. So sometimes if we think, if I ask for something, I think that's different than actually visualizing and feeling it as done.
Yes. Wow. Beautiful. I want to go back to your app.
So it's called Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle Cards. And it's on Apple, it's on Amazon, and it's on Google Play.
Okay. And so we can just download. Is there a fee to download?
Well, yes, for that. Well, we have two different apps now.
I was talking about the spiritual coaching meditation one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a different one, because that one is, so there's one free meditation in that one, and it's called the Universal Bank. And the Universal Bank meditation is where you align, like when you're working on manifesting abundance and financial freedom or a certain amount of money, then it's a visualization that kind of takes you up to the Universal Bank and helps you to really feel like it's real, like it's really happening. And then some of my other hypnotherapies in there are a fee depending on how long they are. Some of them are $4.99 a piece. Some of them are $6.99. I think it depends on how long they are. So there's like past life regression one. There's a self-empowerment one, which is about reprogramming for self-love. There's an authentic self one. I think one of my favorites is also the limiting belief one, because that one you can use to release and reprogram, like, for example, if you're working on something or working to manifest something, or you have a habit, or you have, just a way of being that you're trying to work through, that will let you, you'll pick an intention in your mind before you listen to it, and will let you see what your limited beliefs are to help you release them.
Oh, I love it. Those that are listening, you can download the app at Kelly's website, which is
www.intuitivelifecoachingwithkelly.com.
Yes, and you can find her workshops and sessions there. Talking about workshops, are you having or hosting anything soon?
Yeah, well, I have a podcast called Soul Keys, and I'm working on I've done so many workshops. I'm working on putting them in self-study format. But I do have a free Oracle card class that I did with Beyond Words that anyone could take if they want to learn more how to use Oracle cards. I have to give you the link though. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'll put it on my website, but it's basically a free workshop. I don't have any scheduled ones coming up, but I'm going to be doing them soon.
Okay, beautiful. So what's coming up for you? Like any new project?
Yes. I'm working on right now a self-study course called Unlocking the Highest Version of You. Hypnotherapy mixed with coaching, mixed with to be able to help someone understand how to just move forward fiercely in their life with their goals and show up in the world in a way that honors who they really are on a core level. So I'm working on that, and I'm almost done with that. I'm excited.
I like the word fiercely, just get out there, right? And just do it.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we all have that problem. That's one of my biggest one is just, I'm more of a behind the curtains type of girl, but now it's like my higher self is like, it's time. She's pushing me forward, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think I'm ready. She's like, you're ready. You're ready.
That's the exact same thing that's happening to me. Like, yeah. I'm always like I like being behind the scenes. I love that my Oracle cards get out there to people, that they help, but it's like, I'm like that too. I think that might be like an empathic thing. Like,
I think maybe 2021, I'll get out of my comfort zone a little bit more. That's my goal.
That's awesome.
And that's what the Oracle cards told me.
I can't wait to listen to all your shows. I'm so excited that I just found you today.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad we found each other.
How long have you been doing the Level Up podcast?
Oh gosh, it's been a little bit over a year.
That's
A little
awesome.
bit over a year,
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, I love it because I get to, learn and meet wonderful people just like yourself. And it's been a wonderful experience.
That's awesome. I
Thank
can't wait
you.
to listen to it.
Thank you so much. So yes, is there anything else that you would like to add or discuss that perhaps we didn't touch on today?
No. I feel like I just had a lot of fun. And do you have any other questions for me about the cards?
The cards. Should we close with another card reading?
Oh, sure.
Let's see. What could we ask for the audience? Oh, I know. Since we were talking about manifestation. So maybe something around manifestation, something for 2021.
So
what
like,
you think?
Yeah. So like the soul family, because exactly what you just said about like you are a vehicle for source, spirit, and your guides to work through you to bring you the right people. I believe that's the same with your audience. Like the right audience is going to be attracted to listen to get the message right when they need to hear it.
Yes.
It's amazing. So I'm asking for whoever's going to be listening, what the focus is going to be, because usually we get similar messages as a soul family, right?
Yeah.
Like we're all on a similar path when we align as kindred souls. So I'm going to ask, what does your listeners need to focus on, or what's coming up for them in 2021 as far as manifesting? Ooh. Got that same card, the old soul card again.
Really?
Yeah, it's a pushing out the sensitive, compassionate people, like to find their platform, to get out there, to like share their messages, to take those classes, to whatever you need to do to help. Oh, I'm drawing quite a few cards. Okay, one more. Okay, so the card that we got is the Journey card, which means that a completely new path is opening up. We got the Unwavering Faith card, and this card is all about just, again, like what we talked about earlier, whatever spirit is guiding you to do, it's time for you to trust that you're worthy. We keep getting this old soul, so you're gonna be guided. We got the Parting Ways cards, lots of relationship changes. We got the Soulmate card, so this could mean soulmate usually means even. So it's very similar to soul family. It could be a friend that we knew in a past life. It could be someone that we instantly recognize, but it could also be someone that challenges us on a very deep level. It could be a romantic relationship. So Spirit's just telling me that to hang in there, there are some changes in relationships, but it's for your highest and best good. Lots of shifts in perceptions as far as the way that what we believe about ourselves, releasing this energy where we just get kind of stuck in the loop where we're always, fearful, or that is clearing out this year. And I think when we go to clearing out limited beliefs or kind of the mental energy, it starts off intense. So I would assume, and I know it's like this for me, that this year probably starts off with that kind of mental energy being amplified. Where's my future headed? What am I going to do? I don't know what, kind of, and that's all a big release. Then we got the angel numbers cards. So be on the lookout for signs. As you're manifesting, it's really for the people who are listening, manifesting. The Spirit is saying soul purpose, and look for the signs, ask for the guidance. Where am I needed most? What am I being called to do? What are my gifts? How can I share and contribute to the world? Because that's really the energy that we're in right now.
Yes. Oh my God, that was so fun. Thank you so much I had a great time. I really did. Thank you. Where can listeners find you? I know you gave your website, but your social media, are you active there?
So I'm on Facebook. I just started TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok yet, no.
And also Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm going to start doing weekly oracle card readings on YouTube. And I have a podcast called Soul Keys.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for joining the tribe and Level Up Tribes podcast. It was a pleasure. Please feel free to come back and share your resources. And if you ever have another set of your lovely Oracle cards, we can talk about those too. Thank you for this wonderful gift. I will use my Oracle cards all the time. And those that are listening, they're called Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle. They are intuitive. So thank you, Kelly.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thank you for listening. Please visit the website at www.leveluptribes.com. And please subscribe to the podcast and share with your family and friends. Be sure to tune in to our next episode. Catch you all next time, my beloved tribes.